Hi everyone, I'm Hannah. I'm a tutor at Sky Academy, and we are looking at the topic measurement. Specifically, we are looking at non-right angled trigonometry, which is MSM6. And this is our third video within MSM6. And in this video, we are looking at compass and true bearings. So a bearing is simply the direction one object is from another. So we have two types. We have compass and we have true. So let's have a look at compass bearings first. So a compass bearing is where you use the directions on a compass. So you could use north, south, east, or west. And then you can also use northeast, southeast, northwest, southwest. For example, let's have a look at this example they've given us, which is south 60 degrees east. So let's talk about what this means in terms of a compass bearing and where I could draw south 60 degrees east onto my diagram or my compass here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the first letter. The first letter indicates your point of origin. So I'm going to write that up here. First letter indicates point of origin. And in compass bearings, you have 2 points of origin. You have north or south. And so the first letter is always going to be N or S, indicating north or south. So I know that I'm down here in south. And the second letter indicates what direction you are traveling. Direction you are traveling. Direction you are going. And that's going to be east or west. So here I am at the point of origin south, and the last letter indicates that I'm going in the direction east. So I'm going to be going from south towards east. The number in the middle is the numerical value of how far you are traveling. So if I was to draw this compass bearing onto my diagram, I know that I'm going from south to east and I'm going 60 degrees. So I would draw it in maybe about here. And I would indicate 60 degrees from south, my point of origin, towards the direction east. So that's what a compass bearing is. If I was to do another example and draw a line, let's say here, and say that is 20 degrees in here. If I was to draw or write the compass bearing of this line, my first letter needs to be my point of origin, whether north or south. I know I am in the north half of the diagram. So this is the north half, this is the south half. So my point of origin is going to be north. And I need to know how far I'm traveling. I'm traveling 20 degrees. And now I need to know which direction I'm traveling. And I'm traveling towards the west direction. So my second letter is going to be west. So my first letter, point of origin, either north or south. In this case, it was north. The value in the middle is how far you were traveling. And your last letter or your second letter is the direction you're going. So this compass bearing is 20 degrees west from the point of origin north. So that's compass bearings. Something else to be aware of with compass bearings is that from north to east, or from east to south, or from south to west, or from west to north, it makes a right angle. And we know that right angles equals 90 degrees. So from north to east equals 90 degrees. That's the same with east to south, or south to west, or west to north. I'm just not going to write them all in. And therefore, we can come to the conclusion that northeast is going to be 45 degrees from north. Because if northeast is directly halfway between north and east, and between north to east is 90, half of 90 is 45. So here to here is going to be 45, and here to here is going to be 45, and that is going to indicate 90 degrees. So that's something to keep in mind for an exam question, for example. If the exam, I don't know, the question might say, Billy is northeast. How far is Billy from north? And if that's all the information they give you, you know that northeast is 45 degrees from north. So Billy is therefore 45 degrees from north. So that's compass bearings, an overview of compass bearings. Now let's have a look at true bearings. So a true bearing is a direction given by measuring the angle clockwise from north. So if you remember before, I said a compass bearing has two origins, north or south. A true bearing has one origin, which is north, which is indicated here. And so in a true bearing, you are measuring how far a line is, or an object is, for example, B, from the point of origin north. So true bearing has one point of origin north, compass bearing has 2 points of origin north or south. So for example, B here is going to be 135 degrees true from north. So this is how you write a true bearing. You write it with 3 numerical places, 1, 2, and 3. Then you put your degrees sign in, and then you write the letter T, indicating it's a true bearing. Now, if I was to draw this line, let's say here, and indicate that that was 60 degrees, and I have to write a true bearing for that, I have to remember that a true bearing has 3 numerical places. And 60, if I am to write 60 on, only has 2 numerical places. So I have to put a 0 out the front to give me my 3rd place. If I don't include the 0, I won't get a mark for that exam question. So they are very strict on this, and it's not a place you want to be losing a mark. It's a silly mistake that can happen, but if you just remember, true bearing has 3 numerical places. So if it's less than 100, you need to include a 0 out the front, and a true bearing only has 1 point of origin from north, you'll be fine. So let's do another example quickly just out here. And I say that here is going to be, let's just say 12 degrees. I know that from north to south, it's a straight angle. And so that would be 180 degrees plus 12 degrees. So 180 plus 12 is going to give me 192 degrees true from north. So this line, which I'm going to label X, is 190 degrees true from north. So that's true bearings and compass bearings as an overview. And now the next slide is going to show us a compass bearing and a true bearing on the same diagram. So if we have a look here in red, we have our compass bearing. So our compass bearing is in red, and so obviously our point of origin is going to be north or south. As you can see, we're in the south half of the diagram, so our point of origin is going to be south. we are 10 degrees towards the east direction, so 10 degrees towards east. So that is a correct compass bearing for the red line. And if we have a look in blue, we have our true bearing, because we have one point of origin, which is north, and it is a true bearing is indicating how far you are going around from the point of north. And so it is indicating that we are 170 degrees. And they have written true on the end, or T, indicating it's a true bearing. So that true bearing does indicate this red line also. So these two compass and true bearings are correct for the same red line. So this here is the compass bearing, 10 degrees east from south, and here is our true bearing, 170 degrees true from north. So let's have a look at some questions now. Here we have some compass bearing examples. So find the compass bearing of A from O. And if we have a look, A is here. And we know that we can either be in the north half or the south half. And that's going to indicate what our first letter is, the point of origin. We're in the north half, so our first letter is going to be N. And now we have to figure out how many degrees we are east or west of north. And so if I have a look in here, it indicates that I'm 30 degrees from north. So I'm going to write 30 degrees in there. And we are traveling easterly in an east direction. So I can put E on the end of my compass bearing to indicate that I am 30 degrees east from north. Now let's have a look at B from 0. Firstly, I'm going to figure out my point of origin. Am I in the north half or am I in the south half? I'm in the south half, so I need to figure out how far I am south from how far B is south. So I am south, and I know I'm traveling in an east direction, so I know my E is going to be my second letter. But now I need to figure out how far east I am from south if I'm standing at the point B. And to do that, I know that this value here, indicated by this line here, is 120. And if I know that from north to south, it's 180, because a straight angle equals 180. And north to south is flat, it's straight, it's a straight angle, so it equals 180. I can do 180 minus 120 to give me 60 degrees. So from south, from B, from south is going to be 60 degrees. And so I am, when I'm standing at point B, I am 60 degrees east from south. So that's how we do compass bearings, some examples of compass bearings. And now let's have a look at some examples of a true bearing. Just taking a while to load. Oh, there we go. Okay, so find the true bearing of C from O. So here's C. And I know my point of origin for true bearings is always north. So I've got to figure out how far C is from north. And it is indicated by the blue line. So they've already got it on there for us. It's 210. So I'm 210 degrees true. C from O. That one was an easy one. And if we have a look at question B, It says how far are you D from O, and so we have to figure out how far we are here. And we know that each right angle is 90 degrees. So here, I'll do it in a different color so we can see. We'll do yellow. The yellow line indicates 90 plus 90 plus 90 because we have passed 3 right angles, which gives us 270 degrees. And then we need to figure out this extra little bit from here to here. So we are 270 plus 60, which gives us an answer of 330. So I'm 330 degrees true D from O because it's the full length all the way around. I broke it up into 2 parts. I did this part first with my 3 right angles to give us 270, and then I added 60 to give us the extra little boost to the line D, and that gave us a total of 330.